pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, can we have a roll call?
Steve Barthol,
Here.
Steve Parker,
Present.
Susan Schneider,
Here.
Michael George,
Here.
Greg Gordon.
Here.
Okay. And has
Make a
everyone,
motion to approve the agenda this evening's meeting. I second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
And the minutes from July 8th?
Make a motion, we approve the minutes from July 8th, regular meeting. Second. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes for July 22nd?
Let's make a motion, we approve the minutes for July 22nd. closed session.
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And from August 7th, special public hearing meeting.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes from the special meeting of August 7th. I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
It says presentations. Do we have presentations? Okay. All right. I've got a short little statement. Promise. Greetings, citizens of Sunrise Beach, staff and trustees. Tonight, we will be moving forward with our aggressive plans to pave all the streets in our village. The public hearing was held that explained the ability to apply for a community development block grant for 3 of our major streets. We feel confident that our needs will be met. Meanwhile, just after Labor Day weekend, you will see several streets being paved using our transportation funds. Please be aware of street closings, or at least lane closures, as this work is performed in busy areas of the village. On another subject that we are fully aware of, the expansion of the Magruder Quarry, we have been discussing this issue with our attorney. The property in question is located in Camden County. As you know, we'll only be able to express our opinion. The decision will be totally up to the county. We can and will protect our village whenever possible. Unfortunately, this issue is not in our hands. I'm sure you may have noticed our new backhoe busy fixing smaller potholes as they are able. We are closing in on the end of phase 3 wastewater and clean water project. We're pleased with the progress, but will continue to work towards supplying water and sewer across the village. We do need support from some landowners and businesses to annex into the city so we can supply those who want these services. We can only supply services when we're able to annex land or business into the city limits, and they must be contiguous to the village. And so it goes. How about some visitor comments?
So I'm off of Center Road, or kind of a street called Pit Oak. I was just wondering when we will have water and sewer down our way.
What is your name?
Pardon me?
What's your name?
Jim, right?
Steve, do you have any idea about that?
It would be a future phase.
Where's Pinnock?
So you got Beechwood
Yeah, okay.
at the split, and then the Center Road goes down there and kind of just hooks around. So I mean, they've got water close to us, and they have sewer down the next peninsula there, with Cliff Drive.
Yeah.
Are you in a subdivision?
Yes.
What's the name of the subdivision?
There's a couple different names. Yeah, I think the latest is called Young's Subdivision.
I just wonder if they were approached at all during phase 3.
Oh, I've been going up here for meetings, periodically for the last 3 years, and every time I leave, I have the answer. It's in the future, but
In the future.
the future's like hamburgers on, tomorrow.
All
So
right. So it's Pin Oak is the street you're on.
yes,
Maybe we can check into that and see if we can get you a better answer. We are almost finished with the phase we're in
I
right
know
now.
that's what I heard that.
Yeah. So, I mean, and believe me, we're gonna continue until we have everybody.
Yeah, I just spent all weekend repairing our water line. We had a leaking water line there that we put in 25 years ago. The radiator hose finally broke loose. So,
Is it in now with that, I don't want to get into a long discussion, but you have your own well, is that right?
yes, sir.
Is there a community well in that neighborhood at all?
Well, no, I'm sorry, to answer your question, we have a community well,
Do you?
sure, 7 houses on it, which I've been told is way too many.
Come by and see me sometime.
Steve Rothstar sitting.
No, I know, I've come up and talked to you
Yeah.
in the past,
It's, and as you know, just and the board understands, but the phase 3 sewer project followed the phase 3 water project. So
Right.
water was brought out to various locations in the community, and the sewer followed that. And so we're getting near to the end of the phase 3 sewer project. His location and some others within the community were not in this phase, of course. Future phases is a big question mark, frankly, and, you know, I've taken a lot of calls from people at various areas. And, you know, I personally would love to extend our water and sewer system. It's obviously challenging and also very costly. So, you know, how we do it and serve some of these areas is conversation for future meetings, but, yeah, I mean, if there's a community water system there and we could get water service to that location and everybody who's connected, you know, would agree and so forth. I mean, there could be an opportunity possibly. So,
We're trying to get everybody in, water, sewer, everybody.
no, I understand, it's just, I mean, last year, I think it was, that there was a young man that he was an engineer or something.
Yeah.
That was, and, you know, I talked to him quite a bit, that's who I was referred to, and he just kept saying that, yeah, you guys are real close, you're real close.
Well, your best contact is Steve Roth.
Well,
Unfortunately.
before he worked there, I think.
Yeah, it was probably. You were talking to one of the engineers.
Yeah, that's what I was told to
They're
talk to.
supposed to drum up business, you know, that's what they do. Sometimes we can't afford it, so we turn it down. But, no, if you're in the city, we'll try to get to it.
Well, but like I had tried to get some idea of when this might possibly happen. It's just, I mean, right now, frankly, it doesn't sound any different than what I was told last year. I mean, they got to put it on Cliff Drive. It's right there at the top of the hill.
Yeah,
And in fact, the water line we put in, there might still be a couple other leaks in there somewhere, but for the most part, we took care of, dug 8 holes with an excavator on Saturday. I finally found the main leak, but,
yeah.
it seems pretty
I'm
primitive to
surprised
me.
we haven't heard from everybody in the neighborhood if it's that bad in there. They probably live there full time, right? A lot of your neighbors.
I don't know if anybody else lives there full time.
Yeah, see, that's the issues that happen, you know.
See, there won't be any
You see it
revenue to the
happening.
city if they're not there full time. Only partial.
But I would have sit down with Steve and let him see where you are and I mean, we are at the end of this one and
Yeah, see, I thought for sure we were gonna be included at the end of this one here, so it's kind of disturbing to hear that the train is on the station, it sounds like, because they were waiting for a grant or something for that 3rd phase.
yeah, well, it takes over a year to get those grants.
yeah.
That's the big thing right
Yeah,
there.
no, last year was my
So-
first time here, so I'm just,
Yeah. If you could,
Why don't you give us your
Give
name and
Steve-
address and then leave it up there at the top of the desk and then, I will follow up. I'm Steve Barkle. I'll follow up with Steve and Susan. See if we can help you.
okay, like I said, I mean, the septic systems that are in there, they were built
We know.
a long time ago. So, it's always a serious concern.
Would the other people in your community want to do the same thing as you?
Well, I don't know if they want to or not, but I was one out there digging holes all weekend long.
Well, you need to pool them together to make sure they got enough. If we don't get 5 or 6 or 7, it's only one.
Well, there's 7 houses in our little circle. The next circle next to us probably has another 6 or 7 houses. And there's a little, just down the road a little bit down from where that west side campsite thing is, or whatever, there's,
the RV
Yeah.
park.
yeah, I think that's what they call it. But, there's several more houses down in there. Do it just, it's like the only one who got the sewer and water is on Cliff Drive.
Yeah.
And they ran a gas line down there, so there shouldn't be any problem running the water line.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that in your hands, Steve, if you wanna look into it and see if there's anything that we
Sure,
can
you leave your name and address.
give some,
Yeah, I'll do that, but I mean, so is phase 3 gone now, so now we gotta wait for another grant?
it's,
Yes. I mean, yeah.
Pretty
yeah, for all practical purposes, we've been paying like the ends of the work that's being done, so. And they were supposed to be done by the end of this year, so they're on time. But, anyway,
He's not leaving. He'll be here for a long time,
yeah.
if he wins the bid.
Anybody else? Fred, you got anything today? No?
Yep, I'm good.
Okay. All right, on to, resolutions. We've got, 6 of them that relate to the Community Development Block Grant. Aaron, if you'd just like to read each title,
I'd like to start with bill number
bill number
2024-18.
2024-18.
Okay. So bill number 2024-18, an ordinance of the Village of Sunrise Beach readopting ordinance number 10-10 and providing fair housing for the Village of Sunrise Beach, Missouri, defining discriminatory housing practices and creating a fair housing committee. First and second read.
We're gonna do 2 readings tonight.
It says it first and second.
Okay.
It's up to you guys if you want to do first and second.
I think we
Yeah.
can.
This is part of the CDBG.
Right, we have to have these things in order. Okay.
Make a motion that we approve 2024-18.
Second. All in favor?
Second read.
Go ahead.
Bill number 2024-18, an ordinance of the Village of Sunrise Beach readopting ordinance number 10-10 and providing fair housing for the Village of Sunrise Beach, Missouri, defining discriminatory housing practices and creating a fair housing committee.
I make a motion we approve 2024-18, reading second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Pass.
Roll
Roll call.
call. Steve Barthol,
Approved.
Steve Carter,
Approved.
Michael George,
Approved.
Susan Schneider,
Approved.
Greg Gordon.
Yes.
Okay, resolution 2024-16.
Resolution 2024-16, a resolution of the Village of Sunrise Beach, Missouri, stating its intent to seek funding through the Community Development Block Grant Program and authorizing the board chairman and city manager to pursue activities in an attempt to secure funding for FY '23.
Make a motion, we accept resolution 2024-16.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
So this one doesn't require a second reading because it's a resolution.
Thank you. Okay, resolution 2024-17.
Resolution 2024-17, a resolution of Village of Sunrise Beach, Missouri, stating its intent to seek funding through the Committee Development Block Grant Program and authorizing the board chairman and city manager to pursue activities in attempt to secure funding for FY '24.
Make a motion we approve 2024-17.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we have
Resolution 2024-18.
Resolution 2024-18, a resolution of the Village of Sunrise Beach, Missouri, adopting a conflict of interest policy relating to the award or administration of contracts supported by federal grant funds.
Make a motion, we accept.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 2024-19.
Resolution 2024-19, a resolution establishing the rules and regulations regarding the use of excessive force during nonviolent civil rights demonstrations, including physically barring access to a facility of location which is the subject of the demonstration and providing penalties for violations thereof.
I make a motion we adopt 2024-19.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2024-20.
Resolution 2024-20, a resolution authorizing the chairman of the board of trustees to enter into an agreement with Cochran Engineering for professional services relating to the Beechwood Drive Improvement Project to be funded in part through Community Development Block Grant Fund.
Make a motion, we accept resolution 2024.
I second it.
All in favor? Aye. Resolution 2024-21,
Resolution 2024-21, a resolution authorizing the chairman of the Board of Trustees to enter into an agreement with Cochran Engineering for the professional services relating to the Eddy Avenue and American Legion Drive Improvement Project to be funded in part through Community Development Block Grant Funds.
Make a motion that we approve 2024-21.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 2024-22,
Resolution 2024-22, a resolution authorizing the chairman of the Board of Trustees to enter into an annexation agreement with Craftco LLC, DBA Rough Water Docks.
Make a motion, we accept resolution 2024-22.
I second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Old business.
Moving on to old business, this is Bill 2024-17, this would be the second reading.
Okay, bill number 2024-17, an ordinance of the Village of Sunrise Beach for improving and beautifying the city by requiring property owners to maintain the right of way abutting their properties.
I make a motion that we accept 2024-2017.
Second.
Okay, roll call. I got Michael George,
Approved.
Greg Gordon,
Approved.
Steve Carter,
Approved.
Susan Schneider,
Approved.
and Steve Bartholomew.
Approved.
Okay,
Pay up your ditches.
Steve, please go through the report and budget.
Yeah, I'd like to give the board just a budget update. It's, of course, it's in my report, which is in the packet. The revenues continue to be pretty strong. The most recent sales tax receipt was 87,000, which is up about 10% over the same period last year. The calendar year 24 receipts, this is general fund 1 cent sales tax. We're at 308,000 compared to 246 over the same period last year, which is an increase of around 25%. That is a little bit misleading, I think, because there was at least one payer, pretty significant payer, who had paid some back taxes within this calendar year 24 period. But still, the overall trend, there's no question, it has been good. I'm going to say you take that one payment out, we're still probably up 12 or 15% over last year. So that's been strong. Let's see. As far as water and sewer, I don't want to get into great discussion tonight about it. I think at some point when we close phase 3, it would be helpful to give the board an overall recap of the project. Have the engineer here. We have had 115 new sewer connections in the project. Of course, most of those had water previously. There are a few exceptions. So we are seeing, increases in our water and sewer building, which we need. Water and sewer is still my main concern when it comes to the city's finances in general. The other thing I wanted to note is the capital project spending. The road improvement project is now budgeted around 670,000, I think. And so how do we pay for that, right? And I know we went through this at budget time, but in general, what we're doing is we're using transportation sales tax money, capital improvement sales tax, those two together. And we have good balances. We've got close to 900,000 in each of those funds as of July 31st.
So $1.8 million.
So yes,
Wow.
yeah. So yes, the reason that we can do such a project this year is because, again, we built those balances over the past several years. Now, once we get through this year, I don't want the board and the public to think that we can afford this each year. We can't. We just can't. So future years, the budget, my target number is around 400,000. I'm hoping that we can hit that as we go forward. As the board knows, we've annexed some businesses. We've seen our revenues grow. And if that continues, then I think we will be able to hit that target figure. But this year is a little bit unusual, our ability to fund all those improvements. And then the water and sewer, I think, you all understand that we have extended, water and sewer, through the phase 3 project. And yes, grants and loans funded the majority of it, of course. But there's also been some city outlay. There's been ineligible costs within the grant project that the city is covering. And that's primarily the individual service connections. When the building is plumbed for the new connection, the property owner maintains that, right? And so that's not grant fundable. It was put in as part of the project, but it's not eligible for state grants and loans. And so we covered that cost around 200,000. And then some of the water extensions, obviously it's a sewer grant, so it wasn't in the sewer projects. And so we funded those as well. That also is being paid for through improvement sales tax. So there's been a lot of activity on projects this summer. The staff heard me say this. I'm looking forward to when these projects are over and the dust clears, we can kind of regroup, make sure we get our, financial plan together going forward. We're fine in general. I'm very confident that, this is all within our ability to fund, but we are obviously spending a lot of money this summer. Other than that, that's really about it. Again, I wanted to give the board an overview of that. Last comment I make is the audit, our fiscal year ended March 31st, and we had scheduled the audit for July, and they had to reschedule. They had some other issues to take care of. But they are scheduled to be here August 21st and 22nd. And so, hopefully the final audit will be delivered by probably October, I think. So actually looking forward to that. And that's really it.
Kind of on hitchhiking on that, I've seen a couple of reports. The liquor sales of Lake of the Ozarks is down almost 60% in the month of June and July. So keep in mind, while we have this money coming in, sales tax, we need to be very conservative because all of a sudden it could be huge and it could be bad. There's something going on in the economy. And I think we're okay as being a tourist economy, but who knows?
Yeah, I think, I've been here a year, and I think the board knows I'm pretty cautious and conservative.
I know you are.
And these are projects I think that needed to be done.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, going forward, I'm always looking for warning danger signs, and so we just gotta be careful.
Okay, Scott, do you have anything to add to your report?
I want to highlight a couple things on there. There was the golf tournament on the 11th at Indian Rock. I'd like to recognize everybody that came out and helped with that. The tournament raised, at least, since there's still donations coming in, $10,900 for the Shop of the Hero program.
Cool.
So that's a lot of money that's going to go to helping these kids. On August 18th, Lieutenant Schultz is going to go over and help with the Make-A-Wish program. There are always kids that show up and want to take part of the Make-A-Wish and take rides and race boats for the shootout. And they always like the cop cars. So they'll also have an opportunity to ride in one of our patrol cars. A reminder that the shootout boat races are the 24th and 25th. Aquapalooza was definitely a lot bigger than this year than what we've seen in years past. So we expect the shootout's going to be the same. I'd like to recognize Lieutenant Schultz. On July 20th of last year, Lieutenant Schultz and myself arrested Danielle Thomas for embezzlement of a local Sunrise Beach business. Since the arrest, Lieutenant Schultz has worked vigorously on this investigation. Up until the day of sentencing, she was still receiving information on search warrants. As a result of her investigation and work with the Camden County Prosecutor's Office, Danielle Thomas was sentenced to 2 terms, one of 10 years at Missouri Department of Corrections, and the second of 7 years to be served consecutively. So 17 years total. on that. So that was a really great job. And all I've heard from the business owner and the prosecutor's office is her praises. Lastly, there wasn't enough time to put it on this because the grant posted on the 7th. I didn't see it until the 8th after posting this. However, Department of Public Safety issued a local violent crime prevention grant. The max budget is $25,000. It is a 100% fund, so they will fund up to $25,000. There's no match requirements. It is, however, a reimbursement grant, so we have to spend the money to get the money. I'm requesting that the board allow me to apply for $22,432.41. And what that's gonna do is replace the 4 in-car repeaters. 3 of the in-car repeaters we have. The 4th car doesn't have one. Our in-car repeaters are failing. They're completely unreliable. Majority of the time don't work. If you don't know what an in-car repeater is, the easiest way to explain is the towers are repeaters. Our radios go to that tower sends it to its destination. When you get down by Franklin Louis, Captain Rods and Bare Bottoms and low areas, the handheld radios do not get out as well. So you turn the in-car repeater on, then instead of talking to the main tower, our handheld is talking to our car, and then our car is sending that to the tower. So it's kind of just a way to relay that signal. And then also 6,000, that's gonna be 16,180 of it. 6,252.41 will be for a base station. Currently, we don't have a base station at the PD. This is
Right? So
we're up to
until we grow again. Good to hear.
Glad you guys are with us. Appreciate it.
Okay, approval of the list of bills. Everybody have a chance to take a look at that?
I make a motion we approve the account payable.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 2 on here is approving phase 3, the pay application through lay, 272,000 and, shoreline, 39,000.
I make a motion we approve relay and shoreline.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And change order for rough water docks sewer extension, it's 25,380.
Make a motion we approve change order 4.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Pay application 2 for water service extension at Summer Point and Como, 76,000.
Make a motion we approve pay application 2.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Change order 3, Como Connect, Summer Point and Rough Water Dock water extension, 26.
Make a motion we approve change order 3.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Change order Higgins Asphalt, Singing Oaks to Castle Garden, 43,000. This is that addition from 5 to the
536.
43,000.
I make a motion. Well, it's not done yet, right?
No, we're adding it to the program.
Oh, it's already included.
They didn't start at 5 and go to the stop sign. They started at the stop sign. And I said, why would we not do the whole road? So this is the rest of the road.
Because it used to be paid by the county. So I would.
Well, it's not a county road, it's a city road.
I know, but the county used to take care of it. That's why we were confused in the beginning. I make a motion we approve that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nathan, do you have anything for us, by the way?
The only thing I would just throw out is, as you guys already probably know, the Lake Area Tourism Bureau got struck down by the Supreme Court. So that won't exist anymore.
Right. That is where they were getting money for the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and they fought it, but they lost.
They lost, and there's a lot of concern about it, mainly not so much because it just affects the lake. So outside the lake, the concern is mostly how does that affect other types of things like CIDs and those. And my opinion is that it doesn't affect those. The lake area system was very peculiar in the way that it was set up. So you had and I can't remember the names of the two entities, but the first entity was people who were appointed by the county commissioners. And they then imposed the tax, but the tax money didn't go to them. It went to another entity. And those people were chosen by the various hotels and restaurants and stuff like that. And so they weren't elected. It is a weird system, and so you can't, public tax money can't go to private individuals.
Right.
But that's not to say that, and I'm sure we do this in Sunrise Beach all the time. It's not to say that we can't spend public money and give it to a private contractor to do something. But that's not what was happening here. The public entity was being bypassed and money was going straight. So it's an unusual situation, and that's why. I suspect they may reestablish it in the next legislative session, assuming they can do anything in the next legislative session, which is unlikely. But make it more like conventional Convention Visitors Bureau, which don't. Traditional ones, the money goes to a city, and then the city has a contract with somebody to provide tourism services.
So the way it was going with this Visitors and Convention Bureau, they were handling it all without any public input at all.
Right, the public body had no control over its own money. The money wasn't even going to them, it was
Yeah.
going straight to this other entity that wasn't.
So you think they're gonna try to rework something new that is more,
Yeah, I mean, I think that they could just go back and adopt the same template they used all over the state. The difficulty only is that in most places it's one city that does this. The attempt with this was a much larger group.
Cities.
You're gonna have to have multiple cities and counties, involved in it. And you probably won't have the hotels and restaurants themselves having nearly as much control. But you'll just have a Convention Visitors Bureau that they work through. Now typically those are controlled by a Chamber of Commerce. So that's kind of where the restaurants and hotels and other places, that's how they kind of get their fingers into it. So I think that they will probably do that and go back to that system, but that will have to be, you're gonna have a year without it. Because the earliest they could do that would be August 28th of 25.
well, that's not gonna stop certain entities such as the Shootout, who has their own
Right.
board and they have their own funds that they do advertising with.
Yeah.
It's not gonna stop them from advertising the Shootout and other things like that. So
Yeah,
it's just that Visitors and Convention Center is not going to be overall promoting.
the lake as a whole.
Yes. Okay.
And there actually are several individual
Mhm.
ones around the lake, so those still will continue to function too.
Okay. Will you be assisting us with some sort of a statement for the quarry situation? Okay. We'll have that coming, so that, because I know people are anxious to know where something, for us to say something, so.
Say something.
Anything else?
Make a
Anyone?
motion, we adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Todd?
Well,
Aye.